Have you ever wondered what it was like when the world as we know it was still a mystery? Imagine, if you will, the late 15th century, a time where the edges of our maps faded into the unknown, where tales of mythical lands and creatures filled the gaps in our understanding of the world. This was the dawn of the age of exploration, driven by a thirst for knowledge, a desire for wealth, and an urge to spread their religious beliefs. Explorers from across Europe set sail into the great unknown. The quest for new trade routes was paramount. The traditional paths to the east were perilous and long, and the allure of a quicker route was too tempting to ignore. Crews of hardy sailors, guided by the stars and their rudimentary maps, embarked on risky voyages to uncover what lay beyond their known world. So, in the late 15th century, the age of exploration began, promising wealth, knowledge, and an exciting sense of the unknown. Imagine you're a sailor in the 15th century embarking on a voyage into uncharted waters. Imagine the thrill, the fear, the anticipation. Now let's delve into the journeys of some pioneering explorers who did just that. First up, we have Christopher Columbus. In 1492, he set sail from Spain, convinced he could reach Asia by heading west. Instead, he stumbled upon the Americas, a whole new continent unknown to the Europeans. Then came Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer who in 1498 charted a sea route around Africa's Cape of Good Hope, successfully reaching India. This was a game changer, providing a direct sea link between Europe and Asia. Finally, we can't forget Ferdinand Magellan. From 1519 to 1522, his expedition achieved the first circumnavigation of the Earth, proving the world was indeed round and not flat. These voyages not only filled in the blanks on the map, but also reshaped the world's understanding of geography. But what did these voyages mean for the world and the people living in these new lands? The impact of the age of exploration was monumental, reshaping both the old and new worlds in unforeseen ways. One of the most significant outcomes was the Columbian Exchange. This was a massive, unplanned ecological experiment where plants, animals, and diseases were transported between the hemispheres. Imagine for a moment Italian cuisine without tomatoes, or Ireland without potatoes. These staples, native to the Americas, were unknown in Europe before the age of exploration. However, the exchange was not all beneficial. Contact with Europeans brought foreign diseases to indigenous populations who had no immunity to them. Smallpox, measles, and influenza wreaked havoc, decimating these communities. The explorers' voyages also paved the way for the establishment of colonies. Nations like Spain, Portugal, and later England and France set up colonies exploiting the resources and people of these lands. This led to the tragic beginnings of the transatlantic slave trade, a horrific chapter in human history. The age of exploration also birthed global trade networks. Goods, ideas, and cultures began to flow around the world as never before, leading to a period of globalization. This era marked the rise of Europe as a global power, setting the stage for the world dynamics we see today. The age of exploration had far-reaching consequences, some devastating, some beneficial, shaping the world as we know it today. As we look back on the age of exploration, what lessons can we draw from this pivotal period in history? The age of exploration was not just a time of discovery, but also a time of transformation. It marked the dawn of globalization as new routes connected different parts of the world, facilitating trade, cultural exchange, and the movement of people. The spices of the East, the gold of the Americas, these treasures fueled economies and reshaped societies. Yet it was also a time that raises ethical questions. The conquests and colonization that came with exploration led to the exploitation of native peoples and the decimation of their cultures. It's a reminder that progress often comes with a price, and that price is sometimes too high. Today we see the spirit of exploration alive in our quest for space. Like the explorers of old, we yearn to chart the unknown, to push the boundaries of our knowledge. We send spacecrafts to distant planets and dream of setting foot on Mars. But as we venture into these new frontiers, let's not forget the lessons from the age of exploration. Let's strive for discovery without devastation, curiosity without conquest. Let's remember that the true spirit of exploration is not just about reaching new places, but also about understanding and respecting the worlds we encounter. The age of exploration, a time of discovery and devastation, of curiosity and conquest, continues to resonate with us, reminding us of both the promise and perils of venturing into the unknown.